Hi there, and welcome back to another text and talk about Stellaris Dev Diary 64. It's called Minor Features and Tweaks, but the features aren't that minor. It's about free features in the banks update that everyone will get. And first one is already not pretty minor. There's EmpireWide Food, so comparable to minerals or energy, you'll have it's said like an empire-wide stockpile against which everything is calculated. So you'll have big changes in Empire strategy. You can now also specialize planets for food. This is what it means. So it opens up the road for even more specialization of planets. You don't need food on planets from now on. You can have one or two garden planets with a lot of food on them, and the others, maybe if there's +2 on one of the fields, then maybe go for some food. But otherwise, why would you? So no more like replacing minerals or making a pretty good mineral specialized or research specialized planet use food too much. No. It's all going to be, specialized. And with that, we'll have to look at planet specialization in general again and very deeply, because there's a lot that will change. Look at that. We can see here that there's not going to be that much food stored. Also, what's going to change is, like previously, you could influence the growth rate of pops with your food. Like with your food production, if you were over the top, they would grow more quickly. And let's see what they have changed about that growth thing. So, maximum size of the stockpile, as you see here, depends on your food stockpiling policy, minimal, balanced, large. And once your food stockpile is full, any additional food produced is instead converted into faster pop growth across the empire, at a rate relative to the size of the population. So an excess of 5 food per month will produce much more growth in a 10-pop empire than a 100-pop empire. Very logical. Conversely, if the stockpile runs out and food growth is negative, the empire will suffer starvation, halting all pop growth and applying increasingly severe happiness penalties for all biological pops. So this is like a safety net too. So you will not go into starvation instantly, but rather similar to civilization after a while. But the difference to civilization is now that the food is calculated empire-wide. Like if you know Master of Orion 2, I haven't played the new one. There it was the same, but you needed to buy space freighters to distribute the food, but you had also that empire-wide food, and that led to definitely specialized food planets. I mean, you could have an agricultural species in your empire that you would set on to be farmers in the garden planets. And you would have researchers that are specialized on their research planets, and so on and so on. So this opens up for I mean, if the AI is concerned, the AI will be comparably weaker to humans after this change. I expect that. Because its specialization is always done better, for now, by the humans. Still, in this game at least. So, that's the empire-wide food. A minor feature and tweak. Now to the really exciting things. Terraforming candidates. We can terraform Mars now. That was like the big thing. So as explained in earlier dev diaries, one of the decisions taken early on when it comes to terraforming in Stellaris is to not have every planet be terraformable. Unlike, I repeat myself, Master of Orion 2. This is much more gameplay than Stellaris. Stellaris is really about history in space, about a story in space, much more. It's both for practical reasons, as Stellaris galaxy can contain thousands upon thousands of planets. Having them all be inhabited would be completely unfeasible from a gameplay perspective, and thematic ones, as we want habitable worlds to feel rare and special. However, this means that one of the great staples of sci-fi, terraforming Mars, isn't possible in Stellaris. To resolve this, we've introduced a new type of anomaly called a terraforming candidate. Sometimes when surveying barren worlds, you will find ones that, while they do not support life, could theoretically do so if you possess the right technology. Once you have unlocked the climate restoration technology, you'll be able to terraform these worlds into habitable planets. Mars will always be a terraforming candidate, and you'll be able to find randomly generated terraforming candidates when exploring the rest of the galaxy. I expect this to work with with the ships, with an anomaly find chance, probably. So it's probably calculated as an anomaly. So these anomaly researchers that have a higher chance are much more valuable right now. Terraforming candidate discovered. Nice, like that looks like Mars already. I mean, apart from this lava, sulfur, smoke things. A detailed survey of Mars has revealed that it may once have supported life in the distant past. There are significant deposits of frozen water on the polar ice caps and beneath the planet's surface. The existence of valley networks suggests that the water may once have flowed freely. Terraforming this planet would theoretically be possible, but we do not yet possess the technology to accomplish this monumental task within a realistic time frame. Fascinating, indeed. So let's see. Also, we have war demand costs changed. But let's talk about it. This is really cool. So, the thousands of planets colonizable, that's already something that I've experienced as I'm playing the maximum Stellaris galaxy usually, and wow, yeah, if every planet would be settleable, or how to say that, terraformable, then there would be no end to this game. It would be crazy, and also not that realistic. I mean, what can you imagine to live on Venus? I couldn't. I mean, Clark Ashton Smith could. Lovecraft also could. H.P. Lovecraft, but I couldn't. I mean, everything would dissolve there, right? So, yeah, terraforming candidates. But it's an exciting thing to find. I think it's a great new, also story thing. And it's something that makes research empires even better. Like, they were sort of falling behind the military-centered empires, I think, at least at the start of the game. But that gives them the late-game advantage they may need. So, something else has been changed. War demand costs. The war's core costs for taking planets simply do not scale well to the size of late-game wars. Yeah, that's really true. You can have a gigantic conflict involving dozens or hundreds of planets that results in only a few planets exchanging hands at the end. To address this, we've rebalanced war demands to still be quite expensive in the early game, when conquering a handful of planets is a significant increase in power, but added numerous ways to reduce the cost as the game progresses in the form of traditions and technologies allowing for vast swaths of territory to change hands in late-game wars. Yeah, you can see one of them here. unlocks feature cheaper war demands. So I think that makes sense, absolutely, as one planet can be huge in the early game and it's kind of insignificant in the late game often. At least if you're playing with these huge galaxies, which I love to do. And yeah, it's just a logical thing, and I'm happy they changed that. It makes so much sense. So then Stone Age primitives, they are going to be integrated as normal civilizations. Having Stone Age primitives use a system of modifiers and tile blockers always felt a bit odd, owing to the fact that it is a legacy system designed before pre-sentience and later primitive civilizations were given proper pops. For 1.5, we've reworked Stone Age civilizations to use the same systems as regular primitives, meaning they have pops, can be studied and conquered using armies. That makes absolutely sense in my book, as, yeah, you would always have like these red things you could never remove. And why would that be so, right? If you're a militaristic xenophobe civilization, they would probably drive away these guys without a doubt. So why would you need some event to destroy that? No, it's treated as a normal civilization. It's if you want so, it's treated like the dangerous beasts that you can remove. It is just transformed into proper pops, and you can now, if you conquer them, integrate these Stone Age primitives into your civilization. Wow, they would get a flash, right? They have mastered fire and developed a rudimentary spoken language, but we have yet to see any evidence of metallurgy or written communication. Also, yeah, they can be studied, so these observation posts, do them. Then something has changed. It's not all good yet, but another occasional requested feature has been the ability to pick your own room background when designing your species, instead of having it automatically generated by your ethics. In 1.5, you'll be able to select your room background in the ruler customization screen. We've also added a new room background in a hive mind style. Nice. So there we go. You can also customize your room. I think that's just fair, because is design really linked to a way of thinking? Maybe some of it, maybe swords, but it could also be a democratic, like, sword-loving civilization where swords are in, I don't know, in poetry, something like that, instead of a war-loving civilization. I mean, with all the past things we keep, it should be really open, because a civilization can develop, and Utopia is a symbol for that. Like, this Utopia expansion really makes it easy to have a history, so that your empire is not stale, stagnant, but it changes over time. So next time, I mean, I think these are great changes. And next time it's going to be exciting, because we're gonna hear some music, I guess. A preview of music from Andreas Waldertoft, probably. New music and sounds coming in Bangs and Utopia, as well as showing off the music player that will be included with a free update. So, will you have an MP3 player included? Wow. That would make a change. Like, if you want your own soundtrack in that, or maybe use a soundtrack from another Paradox game even. Like, if you're like into, like, you're replaying the Roman or like the classical French empires from EU4 in space here, making the blue blob grow greater, then you can also take the music from EU4 and play it in that game. That would be nice. So I'm pretty excited for next week, for Stellaris Dev Diary 65. So thank you for watching. Happy gaming to you. and see you in the next Dev Diary or on the channel. If you like that episode of our Text and Talk, and if you're new, then just subscribe to regularly receive news about Stellaris. I'm not only using the Dev Diaries, I'm also farming Twitter, and if there's something interesting, then on Saturday or Sunday there will be like Twitter news from over the week from the dev team, and if something revolutionary changes like an expansion, I'll make specials and all that, and some guides can be expected for the new expansion as well. So if you like all that, just subscribe, then you'll get a message when a new video comes out. And for your convenience, I've also linked in the upper right corner, there should be a small I, and there is the playlist that is usually, as long as YouTube works good, the newest Dev Diary or news about Stellaris will be on top. So that's also easy to use if you are already subscribed. And you can also use this playlist, maybe save it, and if you want to look something up about the most recent Stellaris developments, I think from Asimov patch I have covered not everything maybe, but close to everything. So you can look things up, how they work, how they've developed. It's pretty interesting. So thank you for watching. Happy gaming to you. I wish you a great week. And see you somewhere on the channel in the Let's Play. That is in the total end game, or in the guides, or just in another news video. Have a good time and happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Khan signing out.